Hi, so with patch 7.2 coming out next reset, what I thought I'd do is go over some of the things you're going to want to do either in the couple of days leading up to the patch release or on the patch release day itself, or at least the first time you log into that. Now, before launch, there's a couple of things I would do. First of all, empty out all the crap in your bags. We're going exploring again. It's almost like leveling again. There's a brand new zone, there's different quests in it, there's 11 weeks worth of quests, there's new world quests, we're going to be picking up new items. So make sure you've got room in your bags, get rid of all the crap you don't need, maybe transfer it to your bank if you're a hoarder like me, or just destroy anything you know you're not going to be using. The other thing is about emissary quests. Now, one of the things we're going to be doing is starting to get artifact knowledge again. Now, of course, some people may still be working on their artifact knowledge, but if you've been playing the game for a while, and certainly since Legion launched, you are already on artifact knowledge 25, and you're waiting for artifact knowledge 26. We get that when 7.2 comes out. And we actually get it really quickly. Don't think of it just in terms of you start researching again in your order hall. We will be doing that. There's some quests to do first. I'm going to go over those. But you actually get artifact knowledge 26 really quickly. It's like an instant thing. And then you start working towards 27 onwards. So, of course, when you get AK-26, you can get much more artifact power from any source that gives you artifact power. So, emissary quests are a pretty good way to do that. So the couple of days before the release, it might be worth sort of saving them up. Now, in my particular case, I won't have all day. I won't be able to log on. I don't have the day off work or anything like that on patch release day. Can't do that. So I'll be coming home from work and I'll have a couple of hours before raid time in my particular case. So I won't be sort of saving up the emissary quests as such. I'll be doing the quests, but I just won't be turning them in. And this is only for the 2 days before, remember. Don't be doing it from now, as soon as when I'm releasing the video, because they'll disappear. But for 2 days before, I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to do the initial quest, get my AK-26, then turn in the emissary caches, and then hopefully get more artifact power out of that. Now, when 7.2 launches itself, the first thing you're going to do is be invited to meet Khadgar at Crassus's Landing along with a load of other leaders. We've all seen the I hope we have seen the 7.2 trailer now. It's really good. The first thing you'll be sent to do is another multi-stage scenario, Assaulting the Broken Shore. We've sort of already done one of these at the start of Legion. We're doing another one where we're basically running through, killing demons and Eredar and blowing up a Legion ship. So when you've done that, you get a quest from Khadgar to go and get some ancient knowledge from 3 places in ancient elven ruins, quite close to the tomb of Sargeras. So you go there, get those items, go back to Khadgar, turn it in, and at that point you can then go to your order hall, start your artifact knowledge research again, and then get your instant item that gives you artifact knowledge 26 if you're already on 25. And at that point, if you've got stuff to turn in, that's the point at which you can go, okay, well, I'm going to complete those emissary caches now. Hopefully that works. I'm not going to swear that this works, by the way, because Blizzard are a little bit funny about that. I mean, there was, for example, this thing about there's no point in saving artifact power items for the patch because it sort of won't work. So we have to use those before the patch comes out, otherwise they're basically useless. And the other thing is the cache in your order hall. Now, there's a couple of choices here. What you can do is, certainly you don't open your Mythic Plus cache as soon as you've logged in. You certainly wait till you've got that artifact knowledge 26, at which point you could then open it. However, as some people have pointed out, you might still wait a little bit because the order research for your artifact knowledge takes a few days. In fact, it takes 3 days to be precise. Now, you could wait 3 days, you get artifact knowledge 27, then maybe open your cache. Again, sometimes Blizzard are funny bunnies. I don't know whether that would work or not, but maybe it'll be worth it. I mean, that'll be like the weekend. Maybe that's the time you naturally do Mythic Plus anyway. Think about it this way. What is in that cache? There's a load of artifact power. That's what we want. That's the nice, tasty artifact power we want. And we get an amount equal, well, proportional to the highest level Mythic Plus we did the week before. We also get an item. If we did it at plus 10, we get a 905 item. The actual item depends on what level you've done. I've already produced a video on how Mythic Plus dungeons and that cache is going to work already, so check that out. Another thing it contains is your Mythic Keystone. Now, if you're willing to defer the artifact power and you're willing to defer the item, you may or may not be willing to defer the Keystone. You will If you're going to be doing your Mythic Pluses earlier in the week, you probably want to open it then. But if you're going to do them at the weekend anyway, maybe it is worthwhile just leaving that cache alone till the weekend, then opening it up on Artifact Knowledge 27, and then maybe getting even more artifact power. Assuming that's how it works. But it might be worth the risk. You're not losing anything anyway, apart from waiting a few extra days. The other thing you can do in your order haul is, of course, start your new order research. There's 2 more tiers of order research. The first one costs 10,000 order resources and it takes 1 day to complete. The final one costs 15,000 and it takes 5 days. Now, you get a choice with the first tier down. You can choose between either getting yourself an extra champion. Now, because you can potentially have an extra champion going, well, remember those 3 dead weights that you've deactivated a long time ago and not even bothered to level, much less gear up? Maybe you choose the least shit of those dead weights and decide to do just that in the few days before the patch. Get them leveled up, get them geared up, and then if you're going to choose that one, ready to go. There is another option. You can choose just to make super minions that are had a significant amount of mission success. But whichever one you go for, and you may not know immediately, it's probably better safe than sorry. It might be worth just digging out one of those champions, gearing up, level them up. You can always deactivate them again and get your other one back when the patch launches. The final order haul research means that you have a chance to get extra artifact power from some world quests. It's a little bit uninspired, but again, we're very much on the artifact power grind again. To what extent is unknown. I'm not going to say it's going to be as bad as it has been in the past. It may not be. Hopefully it won't be for the majority of players at any rate. But at the same time, we don't want to turn it down, so we do want to get that. So ideally what we want, of course, is when patch 7.2 opens, we really want 25,000 order resources. We certainly need 10,000 for the first day, and then the other 15 for the second day. So maybe if you haven't got quite to 25,000, not a big deal. But try and work on it so that at least for the second day, when that first research is completed, you will have the order resources you need, so you're not too much delayed. Now, once you've finished in your order haul, you should then return to Khadgar at Deliverance Point and pick up the next quest, including one to find some mystery plans. For this, just do world quests as you get the item randomly dropping from killing mobs on the Broken Shore. It took me no time at all to get it. I literally went to the first world quest after doing that, killed a few mobs, there it was. I completed that world quest, wasn't in a massive hurry, and then went back to Khadgar. You then turn that in for a quest chain which eventually leads to unlocking your new artifact traits. Up until then, you'll be using the pre-patch 7.2 artifact trait path. So the new traits don't appear automatically with the patch. You've got to do this quest. The quest line, it's difficult to say how long everything would take from you logging in to actually getting these new traits. I would say somewhere between an hour and an hour and a half. It's very difficult for me to judge because it's sort of based on a few things. It's based on like how many people in the area are going to be, competition for mobs. If you're on a PvP realm such as I am, is there going to be a lot of barneying going on? It depends on the power of your own character. Obviously, it's a lot quicker if you can grab a load of mobs and beat them up really quickly with a high-level character, high gear level character specifically, compared to one that's maybe only dinged recently and doesn't have such good gear. Obviously, it's going to take the second one a bit more time. Now, in terms of other preparation, I talked before about what to do ahead of 7.2. And much has been made of making sure you've got the Pathfinder Part 1 done so that you aren't delayed with flying. However, in a recent Q&A, a senior game designer said that you won't be completing Part 2 immediately. So, in truth, you've still actually got a bit of time. You won't realistically get flying for a couple of weeks at least. That's what they said. They expect the first people to have flying within a couple of weeks. You can't realistically get it in the first week. Well, you can't get it in the first week, full stop. But for majority of people, it's going to take even longer than that. So you're talking several weeks. So you've still got a few things to do. It doesn't mean to say you have to do it this weekend. I mean, I've got a few quest chains to still do in Sunnymar. I don't necessarily feel I have to do it this weekend because I know I'm not getting flying for 2 or 3 weeks. At least because I'm not a no-lifer with it, it might take me longer. Back at Deliverance Point again, and there are a couple of vendors of note for nether shards. Now, nether shards are something you may already have. If you've been playing this game before Legion, we had a pre-Legion launch set of Legion invasions of Azeroth, basically, and one of the rewards we were getting were these nether shards, which we could spend at vendors at the time. And when the event finished, we still had our nether shards. It's still in our currency. And we think, well, what do we do with these now? There's nothing to spend them on. Now there is. There's vendors going to be there. And we're going to need a lot of them. Now, for these nether shards, they will sell you items to help gear up newly dinged characters, as well as items needed to craft the new legendaries. That's, of course, going to be really key. There are some new legendaries, crafted ones, for which you'll need normal sorts of materials, like for the plate one, for example, you need demon steel bars, you need bloods of Sargeras, but you also need other items as well, and that includes an item to buy off this vendor. So you are going to need thousands of these. These drop off mobs and the broken shore, so don't forget to be looting these mobs. And another thing is, one of the quests you completed earlier on that you'll have probably sort of forgotten about because you're trying to rush to get your new artifact traits, will invite you to spend your Legion Fall war supplies on buildings. This is a special type of currency that's only for this. There is a choice in theory of 3 buildings. However, it's realm wide. It's not personal to you. So you may as well go with the majority to get the buildings quickly. Each time a new building is completed, you all get access to new content. So it's better to do one at a time rather than wait ages because you're all spreading your resources out over all 3 buildings. Then you get all 3 pop up at once way into the future, and you've missed out on all those weeks of content you could have been getting. So in terms of what I'd consider for the immediate release of patch 7.2, that should be the main things. There are, of course, other things coming with patch 7.2, and I'll do a quick rundown of pretty much everything of note, aside from PvP. Don't really talk about that in a video tomorrow, just to make sure that everyone is fully seized of what is coming in the patch. But this particular video, as I say, is the thing to think about for when it is actually released in just a few days' time, in case it's caught you by surprise, as it has a lot of us. As I say, they're bringing out content very, very quickly in Legion. So I hope you found it interesting, as always. And if you did, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe and share for further content. And until next time, I'll see you later.